Hi boys and girls. Today we're going to learn about maps and the different types of maps that you might see. So this slide says map skills. We will be able to identify the United States of America, Virginia, DC, and Richmond on a map. That's what we're going to work on all week long for our content lessons this week. Here's a picture of the world map. So this is a picture of all of the different countries and places in the world. Can you find the United States of America where we live? The United States of America is right here. This is the United States of America, the country that we live in. And we live kind of like right here. So let's zoom into that. Here's a picture of, or a map of the United States of America. So all I did was I zoomed in to this place on our world map. So this is a picture of the world, and then we zoom in to a picture of the United States of America. So this is a map of the United States of America. And we have all of our states on this map. Do you know where Virginia is on this map? Virginia is right here. Here's Virginia, here's Richmond, our capital, and here's DC. And we're kind of like right here on that map. So let's zoom into that to see it a little bit closer. So remember, this is a map of the United States of America, where we live. And we can see all of the different states that are in the United States of America. Okay, so I zoomed into that map, and here is Richmond and Virginia and Washington, D.C. So Richmond is the capital of Virginia. It is a place in Virginia where we live. And we know that Washington, D.C. is right next to Virginia. Some of you might have been to Maryland before. This pink spot right here kind of loops around here. This is all Maryland. So you might have been to Maryland before. D.C. is right here. The star that's D.C., Washington, D.C. We have this whole purple triangle looking shape is Virginia. And the capital of Virginia is Richmond. And we kind of live right over here somewhere. All right, so let's look at that. Here is Virginia. I've circled it with a yellow circle. And there is kind of where we live in Virginia. We're pretty close to Washington, D.C. So this is another map of Virginia. This map is a little bit more detailed, zoomed in a little bit more, and we can see different areas of Virginia. We see Arlington and Roanoke. We also see Richmond, which is the capital. That's why there's a star right there. It's the capital of Virginia. And Aldie is not on this map, but I'm going to show you a map in a couple of slides where you can see Aldie. Here is Washington, D.C. And most of us live in Aldie. Some of us live in Chantilly, but it's kind of right over here somewhere. So we're going to look at a map that shows us exactly where Aldie is. And some of us might live in Chantilly, very close to Aldie. Oh, and here's Maryland. Maryland is the state that borders or touches Washington, D.C., and it also touches Virginia, our state. So here is a very simple map of Virginia so you can see what shape it looks like. I remember where Virginia is on the map because I always look for the state that kind of looks like a triangle. So here is the shape of Virginia. And this star right here shows us where Richmond is. I made it a star because Richmond is the capital of Virginia. Each state has a capital. This other star here is not in Virginia, but it's touching Virginia. This is Washington, D.C. Some of you might have been to Washington, D.C. before. Have you ever been there? I like to go to museums when I visit Washington, D.C. They have a lot of really cool museums. And this circle right here that you see is where we are on the map. This is pretty close to where we live in Aldie or Chantilly. We live right over here. We're pretty close to DC. If we want to take a nice long drive, we could take a nice long drive to Richmond. If we want to take a shorter drive, we can take a short drive to Washington, D.C. My town. We live in Aldie, Virginia. That is the town that Buffalo Trail, our school, is in, Aldie, Virginia. Some of you might live in Chantilly, which is a town that's very close to Aldie. And here is a map of Aldie. So we have Aldie right here, which is our town, where Buffalo Trail is. We have some other towns that are next to Aldie, like Middleburg and Leesburg, Ashburn, Dulles. If I scooted the map over a little bit, we would see Chantilly right over here. But you can't see it on the map here. So on this map, if you look at the purple line, this is the route that someone took to get to Bluemont. So they started at Aldie and they drove all the way up this road to get to Bluemont. And once they got there, they turned around and drove back home. So if you look at this purple line, that's how this person drove and got to Bluemont. Oh, we can even see the Potomac River right here. And this is a map of Buffalo Trail. Now, if you look at the difference, this is a map that shows roads and towns in Virginia, close to where we live. Now, if you look at this map looks really different. This is still a map, but it is not a map of roads and towns. This is a map of our school, Buffalo Trail Elementary School. We have the first floor here, and we have the second floor here. These are, let's see if I can find the front doors here. I want to say these are the front doors here, where you walk in to the main lobby. We have the stairs right here that you walk up to the upstairs. We have the hallway that some of you that took buses might have gone down this hallway. This is where the front office is. And this is actually where some of our first grade classrooms are. And some of you might have been to Buffalo Trail for kindergarten, and this is where some of your kindergarten classrooms are. You might have seen the playground at Buffalo Trail, and the playground would be right over here. This little line here, I think, is the fence where some of you might have played during kindergarten recess. You played in that fenced area right here. And then if we were able to zoom this map out a little bit more, we would see the playground with the fields and the playground equipment. We have the cafeteria here and the gym. We have the music room. So we looked at a bunch of different maps today. We looked at a map of Buffalo Trail, which looks very different than a map of roads or a map that shows us where we are in Aldi here. We also looked at a map of Virginia, a few maps of Virginia, and we looked at the map of the United States of America, where we live. And the last map we looked at today, or should I say the first map we looked at today, is a map of the world. Some of you might have a map that looks like this at home. You might have it on a globe, or maybe you might have it in a picture, but this is a map of the world. If you have a globe at home, this is the map that's on the globe. Okay, boys and girls, so all week long this week, we will be working on maps. We'll be looking at different maps, we'll be drawing maps, coloring maps, adding different details to maps. We're going to be working and doing a bunch of fun things with maps. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for listening. Bye, everyone.